Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to Hollowponds Solo Sagas, where we are going to play more solo role-playing games. So today we are continuing our solo campaign for the Forbidden Lands. This would be our 9th episode. We are following the trials and tribulations of Taylene, an explorer. The explorer class is introduced by Matt Kay, who wrote the solo process, the solo rules, which can be found in the Book of Beasts, or there's a solo expansion on Drive-Thru. We're using both of those. Taylene and Nemena. Nemena is her companion, who is a warrior. Both of those have been exploring parts of the Forbidden Lands. We found an old prison, a dwarven prison, but reached a dead end that we just couldn't proceed through this door. We couldn't get it open. And so we have returned back to the Hollows, which is a small village nearby. And we have managed to get in at night. The doors were locked, but we climbed over the wall. I didn't do any of the encounters which is mentioned in the GM's guide about the undead, mainly because I forgot, because there's so much cognitive load that a solo player can deal with, and sometimes you just have to let things pass. So we would have awoken in the morning of Spring Rise. I think it's the 6th of Spring Rise in the morning. We will have a look at our solo process, but there isn't really much we need to do. The only thing we really have to do is we shuffle our cards, our deck of cards, because it is the beginning of a new day. I think I did that at the end of last session, but I will quickly do that now. So let's see, first off, so we've woken up in the morning of the day, so normally we would then do the weather. Let's see what the weather is like. We are still in spring rise. We pull a card. There's a light breeze and no rain. So light breeze, no rain, a nice day. Basically, today we would be trying to go around the town. There's a few things that we want to do. We want to get Nemena's sword fixed. We want to repair her helm, or maybe upgrade it. We need torches, possibly food. We need some tools or lockpicks so as we can get through that locked door. We need bandages. And we're going to talk to that Raven sister, and we will mention, Taylene will mention the other Raven sisters and their suggestion that she leaves. So what we might do is we might extrapolate out the play of this. So rather than go around and talk to, if we were a party of adventurers and we were a DM, then we could do a little bit of social interactions and do a bit of that, but we're not. And so what we might do is we will have a look and see in the Hollows who there is that we would talk to, and we would spend most of the day, so today even, the whole of the day, so we'd have to pay for night, so we'd begin again on the 7th of Spring Rise. Actually just we'll extrapolate out our days, a day going around the town, doing some stuff, chatting, having a rest, having a bit of a catch up, and then going back out tomorrow to go back to where we were. So we'll explore back to where we were tomorrow, see if anything has come back in, and then go back to that door and see if we can get through that door to continue to find out what's within that prison. I mean, we could go to Ravenhole that we found out about, which is a few days journey. So where's the map gone? So we could travel to Ravenhole. Ravenhole is some days journey across and towards the mountains from where we are. So we are here now, which is the Hollows. This is the place that we were exploring. This is the dwarven prison that we found that we were exploring inside. Ravenhole is all the way over here. So it's many, many days journey this way. We could head out towards here and see what we find along the way as we start travelling down towards this way. But we do know that there's a locked door here, and there could be something interesting behind this locked door. Now, inside the Hollows, we do have the Raven sister, who we might be able to take with us to be a third person within the party, who is a healer. Now, I was thinking as I was walking back to the house, that possibly, I don't know, looking at her stats and the way that she's written up within the Game Master's Guide, she doesn't seem very combative. So she might not be that useful in battles, but at least she could heal us and run around and keep things going, or do something in the background and be a support role, which might help us as we progress further and deeper into the Ravenlands. So I don't know whether we have much benefit in playing that through as a whole sort of encounter, and whether we'll just extrapolate that and do some social roles and see how things go. Now, what we've got in the Hollows is a few places where adventurer types could go and buy stuff. So the smithy, who we did go and speak to before, the smithy would be the one that we would really want to go and speak to. The smithy, Ness and his wife Vera and 3 children, that he would be able to repair Nemena's sword, possibly sell us a helm. That I would think would be easy to buy in a place like this, an iron helm. And we might be able to get that done. We might be able to shift some of our stuff and sell some of our stuff to him in exchange. We could also get the smithy to possibly build us some tools to help get through that door. We can go to the sister and see if we can talk. So if we talk about that we want torches, we could be able to pick up. We'll just pay for torches and the repairs. Let's have a look and see how much repairs would be and how our food is going. So we can just pick up enough torches to increase our die by 1 step for 5 copper. So if we put both of them to D10 for both, that takes us to 25 copper. Now they both had water at a D8, so we can assume that they had water carrying capabilities that take them to a D8, and we could probably refill it whilst being here. Even like in the inn, we might be able to refill it, so take us to a D8 each. Food, we've still got D8 on for everyone, and Tayleen's arrows are still at a D8, so she's all right there. Oh yeah, he fixed our short bow, didn't he? So we want to get Nemena's longsword repaired. It's 18 silver for a new longsword, so we could call it, I don't know, 9 silver? I mean, it's only 1 point difference, so we could get 9 silver for a new longsword. So to get her longsword repaired. So that's 9 silver, so we've spent 11.5 silver so far. And an open helm is 9 silver, so that would make it, is 8 silver, sorry, is an open helm. That would put us to 19.5 silver pieces. Now, do we have enough? Because it says lockpicks are a gold. No, we would have, that's basically all of our money. We don't have enough to buy tools. Maybe we can just get an axe or a pickaxe, and then we can just sort of brute force our way through that door. And instead of sort of the subtleties of picking a lock, we are basically taking the door down. So we've got those crowbars. So the crowbars would give us a +1, as we said. So if we also got some axes, we could just spend time. Basically, it's just time. We could just spend time just taking that door down. So an axe, a timber axe, is 2 silver. So that is all of our cash. What have we got that we could flog? We've got a broadsword. If Nemena has, so she also has a short sword. So if Nemena has her longsword repaired, she's carrying a longsword, a short sword, and a broadsword. So we can flog the broadsword, and then we can get that money and buy bandages, because otherwise we haven't got the money to buy bandages. A broadsword is 10 silver. We can do a roll against Ness. He's got an empathy of 3, which is 1 success. So if Nemena can make 1 success, we can get half the cost of a broadsword, which would give us 5 silver. And then we can go, and then we'll deal with talking to the Raven sister, and then we can go back out adventuring again. She can also sell her leather, her studded leather, her ruined studded leather. We'll say that's at a quarter, depending on a roll. Let's do a roll first, then we'll see what happens. So this is Nemena, who has an empathy of 4. She has nothing for manipulation, but we can say that Tayleen is going to try and assist. She needs to get 1 hit. Oh, she's got broken toes. We've also got to go and talk to the Raven sister about fixing up her broken toes. Well, that's going to be all this money, isn't it? As a donation. So we need 1 hit, and then she can sell the broadsword and the armor. 2 hits. Awesome. All right, so she is going to get So she'll get half for both. Half for the broadsword and half for the leather armour and half for the helm. Everything which is a bit knackered, she's going to sell. So the broadsword would be 5 silver. Studded leather would give her 3 and 1 for the cap, so 9 silver in total. So we will go to speak to the Raven Sister. The Raven Sister will be, her name is Midwife Nervia, I think. Nervia. She's a Raven Sister. Now, Taylene knows that she's a Raven Sister because Taylene bumped into the other Raven Sisters while she was on watch, and she was speaking to them. They gave her a bandage, which we actually used to fix up Nemena. Nemena's toes got broken by the troll, so we will be going off to the Raven Sister and attempting to talk to her. Now we've got 2 things that we want done. One, we want to see if she can fix up Nemena's toe, which will be the first time which she's actually going to use magic. We haven't used magic before. We'll use magic. And 2, we're going to see if she will come with us. Taylene will tell her what the Raven Sister said, so it's dangerous to stay here. See if she's going to come with us, because it even says in her write-up in the Games Master's Guide that she wants to leave, and she's basically trying to find the impetus, the momentum to leave, because she's been there. She knows she shouldn't stay there, and she should go and find others of other Raven Sisters. So we will give her that push to then come adventuring with us, and we'll see if we can find some other Raven Sisters somewhere for her to then join with. So we will do, she has insight, so she has an empathy of 3, this is the Raven Sister, and an insight of 2. So we're not really trying to manipulate her, so we are trying to tell her. We'll do that afterwards. So first off, we'll have Taylene, who isn't best at this. Taylene has an empathy of 3. Nemena has an empathy of 4. Nemena is going to help. We don't have manipulation because we're not actually trying to manipulate her. What we're trying to do is be more performance. We're trying to actually tell her the story. So Taylene is going to go and talk to her. Taylene is going to mention that as subtly as possible that she thinks, I might give an extra one because of the telling about the, so that's Nemena assisting. And that is the knowing about the Raven Sisters, knowing about the symbol, and being able to say what the Raven Sisters said. Primarily we're here to try and get, so primarily what we're here for, Sister Midwife Nevena, please. What we're here for is to see if you can help my friend Nemena here. She injured her foot when fighting a troll. You're fighting a troll? Yeah, a rock troll. There's some cave complexes to the south. We want to go back there. And whilst we were there, we got into a conflict, and so the troll injured my friend. And so what we're wondering to see if you could do something, because her toe's hurting, so she's walking slower, and it's hurting her to run fast. She's still got 4 days worth of healing to go. Actually, in thinking about this, if they do well at this, we will say that the Raven Sister won't take money for it, and then we can go and buy Taylene a helm, because Taylene only has leather armour. Taylene could do with better armour. So we might be able to then spend that, what was it, 9 silver? 9 silver in going and getting Taylene better armour. So this is to see if we can convince, so we're trying to tell that story to the Raven Sister. This is to see if she will do the stuff. We still might have to give a donation, basically. If we get hits, then we don't have to, and she'll do it for nothing. Shall we push? Yeah, we'll push. So we get injury, so she's starting to struggle. We do get a hit though. So now let's see if the Raven Sister believes us. The Raven Sister has 3 hits, and she also has 2 for insight. So this is if she believes what we're saying. So let's see. So if she doesn't get any hits, she's not 100% convinced, and we might need to do something, or she might just not come with us. We might decide, we might do some card pulls to see if she comes with us. If she gets hit, she knows that we're telling the truth. She gets 3 hits, okay? 3 hits. She, not only does she know that we're telling the truth, we knew what the symbol was. That's 3 hits. She's feeling pretty kind. So she is going to attempt to fix up Nemena's toe. and she would, I won't hear about you charging. No, I won't hear about you. Keep that money, love. You go look after yourself. Now, all I ask of you is, we still can't buy lockpicks. All I ask you is, can I come with you? Now, I've been here quite a long time. I know I look old. So how she's dressed in sort of dirty sheet cloth type robes. She's hooded most of the time. She looks a lot older than she is. She is 40, but her skin is quite haggard. She is one of the only people who has been trading outside, even during the mist. She would go out. So you go look after yourself. So a studded leather cap would be 3 silver. She could get an open helm. Is that going to do anything? Is that going to hinder her in any way? I don't think it does. I think an open helm is still just light. Open helm is light, costs 8, gives her 2. So she'll get an open helm as well, giving her 2 armor rating and only costing 8. Which basically means, oh, maybe they won't need to, they can just stay at the Raven Sisters tonight. They won't have to go and stay at the inn. So what I ask is, can I come with you? And then we might spend Tayleen's XP. Sleight of hand, yeah, but sleight of hand, that's her trying to pick the door, not trying to just pile her way through it. But we do have adaptability. That is useful, but she has no will points left at the moment. So, what I'm going to do for you is, I'm going to see if I can fix up her foot for her. Now, based on the fact you know who I am, yes, sister, you're one of the Raven Sisters. Yeah, well, I shouldn't actually be using magic because Russ brother here, oh, I hate him. If we get a chance, we should vent his throat to the outside world. If we get a chance, we should do that. Now, what I can attempt to do is I can attempt to mend that wound. You can use magic to heal broken bones, her broken toes. This spell will immediately heal a critical injury. So she can do up to Path of Healing 2, which is, mend wounds is a rank 2 of the Path of Healing. Now, how it works is basically, for NPCs, it took me a little bit of investigation for this. Now, NPCs within the Forbidden Lands, I was going to say Forgotten Realms, Forbidden Lands, that's a different system. What you do is they don't have a will pool. So instead, what you do is you assume within a reasonable amount, they can cast the spells they've got. And what we then do is, so they can't boost it by spending extra will points. They can only do it up to the level that they've got, or they can do less. So if she's going to do a level 1, then we would just roll 1 dice. If she's going to do level 2, we roll 2 dice. If she rolls a 1, there's a mishap. So she is going to attempt to fix Nemena's toe. So it's going to work. Her toe gets fixed. There is no overcharge, there is no mishap. So she starts to, let's see, what is it? Is there it's immediate. So she gets so she's got like a healer's pouch, which is underneath all her cloaks. She gets that out. She pulls out some white moss, starts to caress it within her fingers, rubs it between her hands to get it all nice and warm, places her hands across Nemena's face, rubs her face. There's a warmth that Nemena starts to feel coming out of the midwife Neva's hands, as she puts her hand down to her toes, clamps her toes. Nemena starts to sort of struggle a bit and feel this really weird itching in her foot. It's excruciating, but her foot is being just clamped so tight. And then after a while, she can feel her toes begin to move, and the spell is cast, and Nemena no longer has broken toes. Now, what we might do is we will mark down every time the sister does a spell in a day, and we could do a pool of dice that will increase. We'll roll a dice for every one, and if we roll the 1 in that pool, then that's all she can cast that day. Might do it that way because she hasn't got will points, so we might do it that way just to make it sensible. So she's done one spell today. So if she tried to do another one, before she tried would go, and then she can. The next one, she can. The next one, no. So that third spell that she would attempt to do we would say that she just can't. She can't muster the energy that day. She needs a rest to get her energies back to do spells again. So we'll do it that way. I don't know if I don't know if I've just made up something new, but that's now going to be called the Peter spell track methodology, trademarked. So the Raven sister is happy to come with us. I think that's what I rolled, didn't I? Yep. So we will create the Raven sister. We will say that we will go back out on the 7th. So where's my little calendar chart? This is the calendar chart. So what we might do is we might pull a card to see if there's an encounter using the Book of Bob General Encounters. If we get an encounter, we will then try to think of something that will happen within the town. Otherwise, it's a quiet day in the town. So this is the whole of the 6th of Springrise. And the night of the 6th, they will stay with the Raven sister to make sure she's okay, because she's a bit worried about what's been going on. And we will take it that that's just the Hollows, and then we'll go out adventuring. So this is for, does something happen that evening whilst they're wandering around? I think something happens that evening. Queen of Hearts, Raven sisters. The Queen of Hearts within the Book of Bob is Raven sisters. All right. Okay, I know what. Now, do you remember the Rust brother saw Nemena? And so let's have a social sketch. So the Raven sister is walking around. The Rust brother, it says that he kind of knows that she does. So it says that he is remorseful for the stuff he did in his younger life. He turns a blind eye to the midwife and her witchcraft. But if he ever discovered that she was a Raven sister, he would have to basically kill her according to the rights of the Rust brothers. So we are going to say that people have noticed that Nemena, who had a broken toe, on the afternoon of the 6th no longer has a broken toe, and they are walking through the Hollows with the Raven sister. When he walks up to them, he doesn't like Nemena, remember, and he was going to tell people that Nemena's a bit dodgy. So he is going to come up and start to be a bit aggressive and rude in the evening of the 6th. Maybe he's been drinking at the other pub. Where is the Raven sisters' place in comparison to the other pub? I think it's close by. So this is her establishment, this little place here, that they would have gone and spoken to her there. This is the main sort of town. That is the pub that the Rust brother drinks at, and this one is basically at war with this pub. It's the Beer Wars. And so this is the Smiths. So maybe she would have come down with them as they're, where's it gone? Here. Maybe she would have come around with them to, oh no, it's this thing here. Maybe she would have come around with them, it doesn't matter, does it? To pick up a new helm for Taylene, and she would have got some stuff for her because she's going to go off with them. And so the Rust brother will be there, and he is going to be very rude about Nemena and the sister, because particularly as Nemena is limping, and we will have a little bit of a social thing and then see if the Rust brother, because if maybe the sister is going to feel a little bit more vindicated, and we might have a bit of a fight with the Rust brother and then leg it out of town, either very late. No, it might be all right. It might be all right. I mean, the village, it would mean that the next time we come back to the Hollows, there might be all sorts of ruckus would have kicked off. Okay, let's see. So we've got the Rust brother is going to be rude and manipulative. So he is going to roll his manipulation to see if he can. He's going to just be rude. He gets no hits, so he is clumsily rude. Does Nemena get angry with him? Nemena is a little bit more emotionally aware. We might give, let's spend XP on Nemena and give Nemena, insight or manipulation? Manipulation, which will cost 5 points. She does have 5 points. So she is going to get a 1 in manipulation, which is going to cost her 5, which is weird because she's a warrior and she could probably do is spending those points on something a little bit more warrior-esque. So she is going to get 1 point, which will give her a manipulation of 4 for her base, 1 for the skill, and 1 because she has Taylene and the sister with her. She gets no hits. Okay, so they're both basically getting agged up with each other. So the brother has stopped them in the middle of the quite muddy pathway as they're stepping through, and has stepped in and pushed Nemena in the chest and asked why is she hanging around with the sister. Nemena's taken a bit on the front to that and starts to square up. The sister is going to attempt to resolve the situation, but she hates him anyway, so she has 3 for empathy. And she has 2 for insight, so maybe she's going to attempt to see what's happening in this situation and see if she can work out that there's something that's going to kick off. We'll then pull a card using the yes/no oracle to see if the Ross brother is going to draw his sword. No, she is unaware of what's going on, and she starts talking to Taylene. And Taylene is getting a little bit concerned that something might be about to kick off. And then let's pull a card and we will see if the Ross brother is going to kick off. The oracle, we will use the, let's think, the helpful hazardous oracle, which is he going to start a fight and how much is he going to start a fight? So reds is helpful, black is hindrance, hazardous, and the higher the value, the more dangerous it is. So a black 10 comes down as dangerous. The Ross brother starts to put his hand on his longsword and pulls the longsword a bit. Not totally. Now let's see, can Taylene, who only has 3 for empathy, so the sister is talking to Taylene, so Taylene doesn't get a skill bonus for that, doesn't get a bonus for Nemena, it's just Taylene's empathy. Does Taylene notice that Nemena and the Ross brother has started to square off? Yes, so Taylene does notice that they're starting to square off. Now, what is Taylene going to do about this? Taylene is now going to attempt to get in the way and resolve it, which is a manipulation roll, which she doesn't have any points in, and she's not going to spend points in that because I'd rather she spend points in her combat or her melee, which is atrocious. She's got 7 XP. Oh no, I know what she wants. She wants that. Actually, I'm going to look this up now. She wants the talent, which she will have to. No, because she needs to do a training roll to see if she earns it. So this is just the empathy roll to see if she can. She's going to get in the way, and she's attempting to break them up and say, look, whatever's happening between you two, take your hands off your swords. We're in the middle of the street. We don't want to have a fight. No, they push her out the way and they draw swords. All right, so Taylene and the Ross brother are going to fight. If one of them gets hit, then we'll pull a card and we'll see if one of them is going to give up. So they're both squaring up, so we'll have initiative, proper initiative. This is Jess, Nemena and the Ross brother. Taylene may be sensible enough not to actually join in. Ross brother on 2, Nemena on 8. So the Ross brother draws first, and the Ross brother is going to do something. We'll do this for the Ross brother, which is the advanced combat cards. This is basically this is like Wild West, isn't it? It is like a Wild West town, though. I mean, if you look at the layout of the picture, it looks a bit like a Wild West town. I'll put it up there. No, up there. It looks a bit like a Wild West town. So this is what the Ross brother is going to do. He has got double up, prepare, draw weapon, grab a weapon from. So he's drawn his weapon. So we've got swinging. So he draws his weapon, which is fair enough. I think drawing weapon is a thing. Draw weapon is a fast action. So he draws weapon, which is a fast action. Double up means that he's going to do one of both. So we might. So he's drawn his sword and he's preparing to defend. Now we've got Nemena. Nemena, fast action, draws her longsword And Nemena is then going to... what is Nemena going to do? Nemena is a people person. All right, I'm just going to pull a card. If this is black, Nemena attacks. If this is red, Nemena also holds the action. Red, okay. Nemena holds action, so they both draw swords and they're squaring up facing against each other. The Rust brother, is the Rust brother impressed by this? So this is Oracle question. Is the Rust brother, so this is page 172 of the Book of Beasts. Is the Rust brother impressed that Nemena is basically ready to go? There's his face card. Yes, but with some complications. So he's impressed, but he's not backing down. If it was yes exceptionally, he would then back down because he's too impressed, which would be an ace. So yes, but with some, so he is impressed, but with some complication, which is he's not going to back down. All right. Okay. Next question. Does he attack? No. Okay, so we'll give them both. So they're both going to get another empathy roll. So this is going to be Nemena is going to say, which she has manipulation now. Nemena is going to say, I can fight. I will fight you. We can both back down and go our separate ways. All you need to do is apologise for being rude. And so she needs to get hits on this. She got 2 hits. 2 hits is good. 2 hits is good. He is then going to say, so she has to try and beat his insight, which is 2 and a 1. So 2 hits. He has to beat 2 hits, which is not going to happen, is it? Equal or beat, I'll say. Nope. Okay. So she is going. So Nemena has faced off against him. Drawn swords is basically saying, I will put you on the ground. I will put you in the ground. I do not have to do that, brother. All you need to do is put your sword away and apologise for what you just said. And the Rust brother is going to, because of those rolls, the Rust brother will slide his sword back into the scabbard and will, in that way, oh God, someone said this to me at work not that long ago, and man alive, it made me think I've got to work somewhere else. Someone said to me, what was it? It's the classic, I'm sorry you were offended by what I said, which is not saying sorry for being offensive, and it's not apologising for it. It's saying, I'm sorry you were offended by what I said. It's like, man alive, like, dude, you're a manager. You're not meant to even say that sort of stuff, let alone talk like that afterwards. But anyway, that's what the Rust brother says, because it's acceptable from a Rust brother. And the Rust brother then puts his sword away and backs away. And they go to the shop to get Taylene a new helm, and the guy who works, I think the guy who works at the Ironmonger's, so that's why it's going to cost them 9 silver instead of 8, because he says, oh, sorry, it's the last one, I've got to charge you extra because, you know, it's going to take me a while to make another one, because he would actually quite like the Rust brother and not like them doing that. Let us move on to the 7th. So it's the morning of the 7th. I will make the Raven Sisters character sheet after this session, rather than break the session in between. We will shuffle our deck and we will work out what the weather is. Actually, what we might have, I'm going to do a card pull. Hold on, I just thought, because there is the beer wars going on. They what was it, Yarm, who I was about to say what he is, but he doesn't like to be called a dwarf. He's a dwarf, but he doesn't like them. So he shaved his beard off, and he doesn't even like people with beards. All right, is Yarm going to call for these people and even say to the Raven Sister that she is welcome to? Because if they find they'll find out they're leaving tomorrow, and he'll say, come and spend the evening at me inn. You can eat for free, and you know, if you're about to go off, and then he will give them, and I'll give them an extra diet of food because he's going to like them. So when they come back, if they come back to the Hollows, which they probably will if they find stuff inside the dungeon, the prison, to sell, then he's going to have a job for him to do. Red, he's going to get him to come. Oh, I really wish it is Red. Yay! All right, so they are going to spend the night at Yarm's. Next time back in the Hollows, he's going to give them a job because there's a whole Beer Wars subplot. And next time they come back, he will give them a plot. I'm going to put that one back in because we'll start on the 7th. Right, 7th. Where's our extended weather stuff? We will go, she will pack her stuff together. I'm going to create, I was thinking about this, if they did the rolls and they got her to come, which I don't know, I hope I didn't fudge. When I look back at the edit, if I look like I've fudged that, I'm going to be really disappointed with myself because I wanted it to be proper, but I also want her to come with us. So she is going to show, I'll do her as a mix of a Raven Sister from the standard description of a Raven Sister and her write-up within the Hollows, which means that she's very much leans towards healing medicine. And her write-up in the book for the Hollows, she has no physical skills at all, but I will give the number of skill levels that the normal Raven Sister has, and I might give her, so she might have something. I mean, if she's wandering, she's going to need to know about hunting. She should have survival to be able to find herbs and stuff. She's got healing, lore, and insight, and that's it for skills. And her talents is the Path of Healing 2 and Path of Sight. Gear is a satchel with herbs, giving her a +2 healing gear bonus, and a leather pouch with raven bones for divinations. So I might give her a staff and some basic stuff and do that. So anyway, what are we doing? Weather. It is an 8, which means there's a light breeze. It's a club, which means there is light rain. All right, so we will set off. We're going to say to her, so sister, you don't, oh, hold on. No, we're going to hack the door down instead. We'll do might rolls. We'll try and take the door off its hinges rather than try and subtle lockpick. So we're going to say to the sister, all right, sister, what we're going to do, sister, shall we call her sister? No, she's a midwife. Well, she's a sister, we'll call her sister. All right, sister, what we're going to do is we are heading, says Namena in a slightly East Endy type tone. All right, darling, what we're going to do is we're heading south, down here, see, darling? Down here, towards this here, prison here, mate. So what we're doing, darl, is we're going to go down here. We've got these 2 X's. That's a bit wet, all right? And the rain ain't going to help us, but we're going to try heading down now and see what's behind that door. So they'll explain it all to her. They'll say that there's the gateway. They'll say, look, it's been a couple of days. Something may have gone in there. There's a griffin around the area. So if they roll around them, then that might be the griffin will take them out. When did they go in? They went in on the 4th. So that was 3 days ago. So they went in 3 days ago. The 4th was when they went in. Oh no, the 4th was when they found it. Then there was the 5th. The 6th was yesterday. Yeah. So they went in, it could, theoretically, something could have moved in. So they are going to move down. So we would say the morning shift would be them finishing off getting everything ready. So there would be the day shift would be them actually coming out of the Hollows, heading down and into this hex here. So the day is them attempting to move into here. You can do 2 hexes in a shift. So they are -1 to lead the way. So we will have Taylene is going to lead the way. We have Namena, which technically is going to do a watch. And then we have our Raven Sister, who is just walking and chatting. So that's right, hike explore. So we have leading the way is a -1 because of the gentle rain which is coming down, which is Taylene. Taylene also has Path of Navigation, but she doesn't have any will points to spend. So that gives her a wits of 5 and a leading the way is survival, which is a 2 for survival. She doesn't have anything that will help. So this is just, well, that's good enough. Oh no, hold on. We should have took one. I'm going to do that again, even though she got 2 hits, because it's -1 for lead the way because of the rain, which is all right. But we only get 1 hit, but that's all right. So 1 hit. So we do not lose our way when moving into that hex. Now we've got Namena, who is on watch, which technically speaking we can get Taylene to do the roll as well. This is what we're allowed to do. And watch is scout, which is wits, and it's a 2, so it's still a 5 and a 2. So this is the scout roll. This isn't, oh, we've got a 1 for a hit. So we can avoid this if we need to. We then do our pull based on the expanded one, which is a card pull for the encounter that we get, which is a 4 of clubs, random encounter from the Book of Beasts, page 1, 2, 3. We are moving in the plains. We do 2 dice. 41. The living tree. All right, cool. Okay, so they are moving through that hex, which is 10 kilometers. So this is part of the day. So if that's 8 hours, so it's about a 4 hour hike they're moving across. And across on the horizon, the Raven Sister sees an old oak tree, which seems to be out of the way. And she is going to make a lore roll, which we'll just use from the book for now, which is a wits of 3. And she does have a lore of 2. Oop. Well, she gets 6 anyway, even that. So she gets a hit and she's going to go, oh! Can we go have a look? I think that's the living tree. A majestic oak tree reaches for the sky from a small hill nearby. The tree looks sturdy and vital, with its thick branches and shimmering foliage. But there's something ancient about it, something strange, something watching. So they need to make a scouting roll as they examine the tree. Taylene and the men are a little bit, what are we doing this for? Which was 5 and then 2, and because there's the 3 of them, so we've got 5 for Taylene's wits, 2 for her scouting, 1 because there's all 3 of them doing it, and the sister is the one who's led them over. Depending on the number of these, there are some things that they might find out, but they don't have time. Oh, so no hits at all. Okay, so Taylene is preoccupied with wanting to go and get through that door and find out what's inside that dungeon. They're very much cursory, say, all right, sister, because she's new to the group. So, all right, sister, let's go and have a look at the tree, shall we? So they go across and they start to examine the tree, but not for very long before they go, right, well, that was lovely. Let's move on. So I'm going to write the living tree. So there might be more than one tree like this, but we encountered the living tree. So then we'll start going into that next hex. It's still wet, so we have 5 for her wits, 1 reduced because it's -1 as we attempt to move into the next hex, which we successfully do. Then we have a scouting roll to see if we come across anything, where we also get a hit. And then we will pull an encounter card, and then we are saying that we are back at the entrance to the prison for the evening of the next day, where we'll probably do camping. A 9 of clubs is a pull from the table, which is all right. So as we are moving, so we would be approaching this. So we've crossed the. We'll take it that we've crossed the water. We'll take it that the weather's not that bad. It's just light breeze and light rain. And so we have crossed the water, and we're in this section here. Here we go. Put this here. So we're in this actual hex now. Due to that roll and that encounter, what that is a peaceful place. So as we're moving along, an overgrown meadow. Remember, we are in the day, so we'd be looking for the evening and the night, and then we'd go into the prison in the morning rather than spend the night in the prison. So an overgrown meadow, undulating through the landscape. Colourful flower heads in red, blue and yellow peep up above the waist-high grass, and the air buzzes with well-fed beer. Well, not quite like that because it is slightly raining. A rare serenity reigns over the place. Now, a peaceful place. We need to make a survival roll to notice that some of the grass in this meadow is not good. Otherwise, the 3 of them might have some bad stuff happen to them. So, a survival roll. Now we do have good for survival, so we can have Taylene, who has a 5 for her wits, and then she has a 2 for survival. Now we also have Nemena and the Raven Sister. Both of those are with her, and the Raven Sister, at least I would assume, being having the druidic stuff, would have some. That's why I'm not too sure, because her character in the book has lore 2, insight 2, healing 4, no survival. So we'll do that character sheet after this session. So they need to make a survival roll to 1, notice the large quantities of stone freeze growing in the meadow. We have a hit. 1 hit is enough. That we will say, the Raven Sister's going to say, now hold on. There's some I reckon there's some stone freeze growing in there, because that's where they would have been about to walk through. Now they would instead, now it says, with another successful survival roll, the plants can be distilled into a transportable poison and applied to weapons, D10 doses. Let me quickly look up poisons. So this would be a paralysing poison. We'd call it a potency 3 poison. They would need to make an endurance roll against the 3. So they would roll endurance, the poison rolls for their 3, and then you see whether they get the partial effect, which is they win. They get a limited effect. A loss means they get the full effect. And for a paralysing poison, it means you take 1 point of damage to agility each round until you're broken, or unless someone treats you. And the limited effect is you just take 1 point of agility damage. So that would be on the first hit. So we could, in theory, create D10 doses this evening whilst we're camping. Maybe we can say that the Raven Sister will suggest that. So we'll do another roll if we get a hit. Otherwise, adventurers moving through the flowery meadow without protecting their airways are exposed to a poison attack. Paralysing poison, potency 7, which could do damage, but then we could attempt. So can her healing fix this? Yes. Nature's Cure. The power level of your spell must be equal to or higher than the virulence or potency rating divided by 3. So if we're calling it, so this says it's 7. Which would be divided by 3, rounded down, is 2, which means that she can do that as a rank 2. So she casts it as a rank 2, then she could cure it. All right, so she's willing to go in and harvest some of this stuff. She needs to get a hit to succeeding in getting it. Can be the plants with a successful survival roll. The plants can be distilled into a transportable poison and applied with D10 doses. Okay. So, oh well, yeah, 2 hits. All right. So collectively, they spend the rest of the day going in to there, and they can get a D10. So this would be evening. So we'll say in the evening. So they've got the stuff. So in the evening, we'll have Taylene will keep watch. Nemena has quartermaster, so Nemena's going to set camp, and the Raven Sister is going to make doses. So we will do. So we won't camp in the meadows. We're going to go to the entrance and go back to where we had our last campsite when we camped nearby, and we're going to attempt to build a camp with Taylene keeping watch. So that's a scouting roll, which is no hits. Then we have Nemena is going to have quartermaster, which is going to be the scout roll plus 1d. Oh, actually, yes. Well, this is going to be the equivalent of Taylene survival plus the d6 from quartermaster. So we've definitely got a camp. So we're going to be able to camp properly. That's a 3-hit camp. And then we have the sister is going to create 3 doses. 3 doses of paralysing poison, virulence 3. Then we need to find out, because we have got, we're static, we're not in the new campsite. So we have a static pool of a general encounter, which is 170, which is an 8. General encounter, 8 of hearts. Thick fog racing from the ground, but only comes up to knee height. So during this period of time, it starts to get foggy. So we have fog coming up. And then we have our night, where Taylene will say she will keep watch, and then the Mena and the Raven Sister can sleep. And then in the morning of the 8th, we say that Taylene will have to sleep in the morning. But we'll do that next session. So first off, we need to find out it's the night time. So Taylene keeps watch, which is their scouting roll. We have no hits. Taylene has not been very good at keeping watch. And then we have our general encounter again, which is another, this is 8 of diamonds. An unusual smell emanates, this is general encounters, yeah? An unusual smell emanates from the ground. So there's a bit of a weird smell that comes up with them. So after the fog came up from the evening, during the night, there's this weird smell, and we will leave them there for the end of the 7th of Spring Rise. Tomorrow we will get to go into the Dwarven prison and finish off trying to get through that door. And if we can't get through that door, then we can discuss about heading down to Ravenhole, where at least there might be some adventure and some treasure to have. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you very much. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for viewing all of that as being a subscriber. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider hitting the subscription for more of the adventures of Taylene and Nemena, and also Raven's sister Nivea. Raven's sister Nivea, who I'll create her character as soon as we finish with this. Thank you so much to the Adventurers Guild, who are the supporters, who are members of the Adventurers Guild, who are supporters of the channel. If you would like to join the Adventurers Guild, there will be a link over there, and you can also hit the button which is down there. There is some prequel Forbidden Lands videos. We have the Series 2 of The Walking Dead is up, probably still up at the moment. And there's various other stuff that will be going up that's members only videos. And that'll be about it really. I will leave you there and speak to you next time. See ya.